What's up, guys? It's Josh from Soul Studios, and I'm really excited to share with you part one of what I hope turns out to be the ultimate U87 style microphone shootout. And I try not to use words like epic and whatever, that you see in YouTube videos that work with the algorithm. But I really hope that this is the best 87 shootout that's out there. And I didn't really plan on doing this. I did the BeesNeez review. I did the Serrano. Really happy with both of those mics. I kept them, still own them to this day. So I wasn't really thinking like, oh, maybe I still need a vintage 87, but I got to looking around at the shootouts that were out there. And I really don't mean this as a criticism, because anybody that does YouTube videos, I have respect for. These are not easy to make. And anybody that does shootouts, I have respect for, because you open yourself up to be easily criticized. But there were a couple things that bothered me about what I saw out there, and I did my best to address those things in this review. So issue number one, a lot of reviews do not have a vintage U87 in the shootout. And it's kind of funny. I mean, it's a U87 shootout. So if you don't have a U87, it's kind of hard to call it a U87 shootout. The other thing is, most of the modern companies that are making U87 clones claim to be modeled after a U87i, which is the vintage model, not the modern U87ai. So I really wanted to make sure we got it right there. So I took my time. I found a good 1979 Neumann U87, all original electronics, original capsule that's in good condition. It hasn't been reskinned. It hasn't been modded. The first mic that I found turned out to have been modded, so that didn't work. So anyway, step one, we got a good vintage U87. Step two, we have a Neumann U87ai. And what's important about that is it was bought brand new from an authorized dealer, because there are a lot of knockoff Neumann U87ai's floating around out there. And lastly, the Serrano, the BeesNeez, and the Warm Audio were also purchased new from authorized dealers, or in the case of Serrano and BeesNeez, purchased directly from the manufacturer themselves. If you're going to do a shootout and you buy a used piece of gear, it's kind of hard to know if that gear has been taken care of, it has been modified, did somebody swap out some part, so forth. So I said all that to say I didn't take the easiest route. I definitely took the most expensive route, and I hope that turns out to be something really useful for all of us. So what I want to do here quickly in part one is I want to start out by doing a blind shootout. That's another area where I think, and I'm guilty of this myself, when I watch the 87 shootouts that are out there and it says Neumann on the screen, I'm conditioned to think, ooh, this one's probably going to be best. So the first step here is going to be a short review. It's a quick example of me playing and singing Hallelujah by Jeff Buckley. When it says mic A, microphone A was used for the vocal and for the amp, the clean electric amp track. In the case of the amp, I swapped out the mic for each take, but it was a DI recording, so it was a reamp. So the guitar performance is exactly the same every time. The vocal performance is exactly the same, because I capsule aligned all the mics and sang into the sweet spot of all of them the best I could at one time. So that is the same vocal take that you hear through all 5 examples. So let's start this off in the most fun way possible, and that is with a blind shootout, because I want us to put our biases aside. I want us to put name recognition aside, vintage aside, all those things that can influence what we think that we're hearing by something that we're reading or seeing with our eyes. Let's listen to mic A, B, C, D, E, and let's see if we can find a clear winner. So check out this example here, and we'll chat real quickly at the end. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. 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 All right, so thanks for checking out the blind shootout part 1 of this Ultimate U87 mic shootout. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to try to hold off on part 2 for about a week if I can wait that long. And as I'm finishing that up, let me know from this brief example, is there one particular one that stands out to you that you like? And then in addition to that, do you think you know which one is the vintage Neumann? If you do, leave me a comment. And then a week from now, when I do the reveal, you can either brag about how you got it right, or we can all laugh at how wrong you got it. Either way, it'll be a lot of fun. I should also mention there's a link in the description that will take you to Dropbox, where you're welcome to download all of these files in 96K 24-bit. And I've got them split out to where it's like dry guitar, the guitar effects, dry vocal, and the vocal effects. So you can bring them all into your DAW and mix and match them as you want. All right, thanks for taking the time to watch this, guys. I hope you found it informative. If you will, go ahead and subscribe while you're here and ring the bell so you'll know as soon as I upload part 2 and reveal which microphone is which. All right, thanks, guys. I'll see you again soon with part 2.